people with sickle cell, we are secretive. And that secrecy, it breaks us down. It doesn't help, you know. I'm not saying tell your business out to everybody or everybody needs to know when you're sick or what hospital you go to or your drugs you're taking. No. What I'm saying is that it's okay to say you have sickle cell disease, and it's okay to, because when you do say it, and maybe it's someone's cousin's brother or whatever who hears that you have sickle cell disease and uses you as a point of reference to someone that they know who has sickle cell disease. You know, you might be a realtor with sickle cell disease, you might be a student with sickle cell disease, a mom with sickle cell disease, and you might be a resource, someone to lean on. You might be someone to lean on for the next person who has sickle cell disease, you know, or the next mother who has a child with sickle cell disease. You might be a hope for them. Hello, welcome to my channel. Fatima Idia here with another video here on my channel, Thriving with Sickle Cell. This topic is about something that I think we struggle with as a community of people with sickle cell disease. I see it less so in Americans, but it's still there, right? I think it's cultural, right? This is a topic of secrecy, right? When you have sickle cell disease, I've met many people with sickle cell, and it's normal to, although you might be open to other people who have sickle cell disease, you might be open with your family members, some friends, some close friends, or at a conference. Hopefully you're open with your doctor or your healthcare providers. When it comes to your sickle cell disease, there's a lack of openness when it comes to strangers or other people or the public at large. From what I know, the map of people who suffer with sickle cell disease closely resembles the map of people who have malaria, right? Some think it's like an evolutionary process that made it so that when you have the sickle cell trait, it's much more difficult to get sickle cell, to get malaria. Anyways, I digress. My point is that the communities who tend to struggle most with sickle cell disease are West African, some Saudis, Indian, some Pakistani, Caribbean, and as a result of Caribbean and West African, Black Americans, because many Black Americans have West African heritage when they were brought as slaves, to America. So what I mean to say is that our community of people with sickle cell disease struggles with talking and sharing about our experiences, right? I see a lot of, not to generalize, but to generalize, white people and white Americans are very open to talk about whatever diseases they suffer from. They do walks, they organize runs, they organize donations and fundraisers and awareness weeks, and they're very vocal about it. And as a result, they get more funding, they get much more advertising, much more awareness. My sister and I always joke like, sickle cell disease, of course it's not as well funded because we're not a sexy disease. And when I say sexy disease, no disease is good. Every disease sucks, But what I mean is that there's not a lot of awareness around sickle cell disease. There's not a lot of fund, and as a result, or maybe, I don't even know if it's caused by or what the issue is, but there's just not as much funding. And until recently, there hasn't been a lot of interest, right? So thankfully, there's now Oxbryta and Adekvio, and there seems to be more and more new drugs being researched to this day, thankfully. We, as people with sickle cell, greatly benefit by sharing. I am a very private person. Ask anybody who knows me. With my friends, I will tell you everything and anything, how much we bought our house for and all that, because I want you to win. So I have these two character traits, right? On one hand, I'm a private person. On the other hand, I want other people to win. I want you to do as good as me, better than me, right? That's what I want for other people. So how do you now balance this? I have greatly benefited from people who talk to me about their sickle cell experience. And because of their experiences, I was able to get a leg up or learn something new and save myself from heartache and not knowing, right? But not everybody has these built-in groups of people. Not everybody has these resources, or not everybody is close to a community with lots of people with sickle cell disease, right? So for that reason, I'm so grateful for someone. Her name is Nola. I remember I went to University of Pittsburgh, and I was coming to the University of Pittsburgh from Massachusetts as an out-of-state student, and I came to visit the campus, and I found Nola on Facebook, or she found me really, I think. And we started talking. She had sickle cell disease, and she kind of helped my mom and I figure out my sickle cell care while I was in Pittsburgh. And this was so helpful. She's the one who told me about getting a letter from my doctor to the disability office before classes started. Every semester, I would get a letter from my doctor that would be sent to my school, to my university's disability office. And what that helped me do was that when I missed a final, or when I got sick and I missed classes, and anything that I missed that had to do with my grades for the class could kind of be made up if it was due to my sickle cell, right? If I was hospitalized or had a doctor's note that could prove that I missed an assignment or had to miss class because of my sickle cell disease, this letter from the disability office enabled me to be able to do that, right? If I hadn't sent this letter to the disability office, and then halfway through the semester I missed midterm, then what would happen is who cares, right? The professor could work with me if they wanted to, if they were kind, but they didn't have to, right? Because I didn't officially let them know in the beginning of the semester that I had this struggle with sickle cell disease, So you can see how that would impact your grades, your graduation time, and so much more, and your overall quality of life, right? So she is the one who told me that information. There's a YouTube channel called Advocate for Sickle Cell. And when I was pregnant with my daughter in 2017, for the first time, I have sickle cell disease, never been pregnant before, and didn't really know what to do, right? I saw this channel and I got to see her experience. I got to get some tips and tricks. I figured out what to ask for a doctor, what to look for in an OBGYN, and so much information. It was a wealth of knowledge right there because somebody was willing to be open. Somebody was willing to go out of their way to share their life so that I could do better from it, right? So thankfully on YouTube now, there are so much more videos on pregnancy with sickle cell disease, different experiences. I'm so thankful for that. And I hope that we can do more of that. And now that I'm a mom with 2 young kids and I'm married, I have another resource, Miss Beatrice, and she has just been an amazing support system for me. Just the few times I've even spoken to her, I always feel like I leave with so much more, really, So I hope by doing this channel, by crossing my lines, because I'm private, right? I like to be private, but I'm doing this channel because I want us to talk about sickle cell more. If it's one thing I said, if it's one little one video I made that helps somebody, that helps someone not waste years of their life, or help someone see something in a different perspective, or help someone find a better healthcare provider, or help someone just live a better life, that's the point, That's why it's called Thriving with Sickle Cell. I want to thrive with sickle cell, and I want you all to thrive with sickle cell. I don't have it figured out. I'm learning. I'm hoping that through this channel, I can meet more people who are thriving with sickle cell, or some people who maybe they're in the season of their life when they're just surviving with sickle cell. That's okay too, because it's ebb and flows, it's seasons, right? So if you are just surviving with sickle cell, I pray for you that you do have you leave that surviving with sickle cell with something that when you're in your thriving season can help somebody else, that can benefit someone else, and that will be a lifeline to somebody. That's my hope for you. Stay blessed, think healthy thoughts, like and subscribe, and share with somebody who you may think needs this message, and share your light with somebody else too. Take care, stay blessed, bye-bye.